What is up? All right, I'm gonna keep it short, so don't worry. Oh, hey, the mic doesn't come out of the stand, so forget that. Yeah, that was actually one of the things, because, you know, Joe, I've known Joe Schrank for a while, a couple years, and he's never, you know, put together a comedy show before. Like, I've been to meetings here and stuff, but he was real worried about it, like, leading into it. He was like, I don't know what you even need to do a comedy thing, and I said, well, you're gonna want it to be, like, fucking super hot, like retarded hot. He was like, so don't put on the air conditioner? I'm like, no, you're not listening to me. Like, fucking outrageously stupid hot, like so hot that, like, before I go up, I want my balls to be stuck in my leg, like that kind of, like the kind of hot that it's like, I want you to be able to make a hot pocket right on stage. So I'm talking like 125 degrees. And he was like, I don't know if I'm gonna be able to do that. And I was like, find out what the hottest day of the year is, do the event that day. And he was like, well, what if it's still not hot enough? I was like, put fucking candles everywhere, Joe. What are you saying? You're an asshole. Make sure they have the oven going right when we get here, you know? Like, do that, right? It's gonna work. It's a great idea. And he was like, well, I don't know, like, he's like, I'm nervous about going up, what should I wear? And I was like, just make it look like you just finished a wet t-shirt contest right before you go on stage. You do that, like, have your hair all, like, matted down and sopping, and have your shirt all stuck to you. It'd be great if you could do that. So good, huh? And that's it, yeah, and he was like, you know, what do you need, you know, for you to go up? And I was like, I'm nothing, you know, I don't know, just, if you can make sure you have a video of, like, families crying right before I just do that, too. I'm in a presentation, so I can really get the ball stuck to my leg. Awesome, so I'm glad we did that. It's exciting. I had 4 years in June, which is exciting. I quit drinking, I'm not good. I was never a good drunk. Like, I was never like an asshole, but I was one of those people who thought that everyone was the most fascinating person in the world. You know, have you ever done that? You'd like end up at a bar talking to some dickhead for 8 hours you'd never talk to if you were sober, you know? Because you got Jack Daniels, you act like your best friends, and be like, this guy's awesome. I would always do that, but I had this like moment of clarity where I realized I was doing it every time, you know? I'd go to the bathroom and I'd look myself in the mirror and I'd go, Jesse, you know you're doing it again. You know it's 4 in the morning and you're hanging out at a gay bar with a beekeeper. Why are you doing that? I hear myself go, beekeeping's awesome, that's how we get honey. I don't care, I don't really. The weird thing about that joke, right? I wrote that joke to illustrate the kind of drinking problem that I had, right? That I was the guy who'd hang out with any asshole all night long, right? So this is a true story. A couple weeks ago, my girlfriend's friend comes into town, into New York. She's never been here, she doesn't know where to go. She wants to meet up with us, so she picks a bar somewhere, the friend, right? She's never been here. She picks the bar and she's like, I want you to meet my new boyfriend. So the girlfriend and I go in to meet him, right? Turns out the bar she picked, it's a gay bar. It's super gay. It's cool, I don't care, but it's really gay. It's like all dudes with Boy Scout uniforms and kerchiefs and leather shorts and sparklers. It's very gay, right? But I'm fine with it. So we hang out, we're sitting down, we meet the boyfriend. You know what he does for a living? He's a fucking beekeeper. Yeah. So 3 weeks ago, I actually hung out in an actual gay bar with an actual beekeeper. And my girlfriend kept trying to get me to tell him the joke. He was like, hey, he's got a joke about this. You should tell him the joke. And it's like, aren't you listening to that joke? That joke implies that this is the last motherfucker I would ever want to spend time with. But I was such a drunk asshole that I would. So there's that. I used to hurt myself all the time when I was drunk, and I'd lie about it because I was embarrassed. Like I broke my ankle just being a drunk, which is not a cool story. So I told everyone that I broke it playing basketball, but then I forgot who I was drinking with the night that I did that, and then I tried to tell those guys that I was playing basketball. And that doesn't work. I hobbled in on crutches. Yeah, fellas, I messed it up playing basketball. They're like, really, you did? You mean the night you puked on yourself and fell down 3 flights of metal stairs? We had to drop you off at the emergency room? You went ahead and played basketball after that? I'm a recovering alcoholic. A lot of people aren't comfortable talking about being in recovery, but I'm really proud of it. I think that it's cool, so I talk about it on stage. And normally when you tell people, like the regular people who don't have a drinking problem, if you tell them that you're in recovery, 99% of the time they're very cool with it and supportive, like that video showed and like the walk shows and stuff. They're very cool. But every now and again, there's one guy you always meet who like really wants to know why right away. Immediately, like if you tell them that you're in recovery, they want to hear the dark shit that you ruined in your life immediately. It's a really bizarre, like I'll be at a party and I'll just say, oh no thanks, I'm a recovering alcoholic. There's always some guys like, really, recovery? What could have happened? Did you wreck your car? Did you kill anyone? Did you shoot heroin in your dick? What went down? Which is invasive, you know, because it's a disease. Like you would never be that invasive when you met somebody and found out their disease, you know? You were like, oh, you got AIDS? What happened? Did you have Haitian mouth sex? You're not supposed to do that. Did you get your blood transfused in Mogadishu? Did you nail a stowaway baboon? There's got to be some story. It's invasive, you know? And then the like I've done those jokes on television, and this is consistently a weird note that I get from TV people. They will tell me, some producer on the show will go, well, I am.
You do, honey.
Thank you. No, I've heard that tons of times. Somebody will say like, yeah, you don't really seem like an alcoholic. It's like, well, I can introduce you to 3 really angry state troopers and 4 fucked up mailboxes in New Jersey who seem to feel otherwise. And, you know, and like after the show, people always come up to you and go like, hey, let me buy you a shot. And it's like, nah, it's not a good idea if you were listening. And they'll go, you were serious about that? Come on, pussy, do a shot. It's like, what? Misses the point. You know, so finally I gotta tell them something. I gotta divulge something. So I gotta say, you know what? I once blackout drunk drove across 5 states, which is completely true. And then they'll go, oh, so that's when you quit drinking? Yeah, weirdly no, that didn't occur to me. That's my point. Let's not do this. Yeah. This is what really happened, if you want to know. I got a DUI in New Jersey. I'm not proud of it, but it happened. Now here's the thing. I live here in New York City. So when you get an out-of-state DUI, for whatever reason, New Jersey, they can't take your license away. All they can do is revoke your privilege of driving in the state. So that means for an entire year, I had to drive around the state of New Jersey. That was a geographical nuisance. I like make up this horseshit route out of upstate New York and down into Pennsylvania. Added 4 hours to every trip I had to take. And the first time I did it, I got lost. I had to ask directions to this gas station. This is a true story. I stopped in and I'm like, hey man, can you tell me how to get to this highway? And he goes, where are you going? Weirdly, Virginia. It's Virginia, why don't you just drive through Jersey? Hey, you've seen a globe. I can't do that. He's like, what does that mean you can't drive through Jersey? I'm like, I don't want to get into it. I just can't drive through Jersey. And I swear to God, he looks at me and he goes, it's not that bad. No, Jake, I legally can't drive through Jersey. But then he won't let it go. He goes, what did you do? It's like, I killed a fucking gas station attendant. How do I get that? So, I'm told by everybody, I gotta clear this up because I'm self-conscious about it. This is a sober event, so I just gotta make sure that people know. I'm told by everyone that I have a look and a demeanor that seems to imply that I do a lot of blow. And I don't. And I haven't. I just am jittery and I talk really fast and I'm sweaty and I have enormous squirrely coke eyes. That's all that's happening. I kind of look like a young, coked-up Dr. House. Yeah, I get that quite a bit. You know what I hate about that applause? That's not for me. That's for House. Anyway, I still smoke though, right? I smoke because smoking really helped me when I first got sober. But like, I'm annoyed. They keep making all these rules to like keep you from smoking. Like, I don't know if you know this. They just passed a law in the city of Eau Claire, Wisconsin, that you can't smoke in your own condo anymore, because if it shares a wall with somebody else's place, you can't smoke in it, which is retarded and ridiculous. But what bothers me more is every time they pass a new law, it makes smokers this sort of unified, stupid, oppressed minority that insists on talking to me when I'm outside smoking. You know what I mean? Like, I can't go to an airport smoking lounge with some dick in a fanny pack sauntering up to me going, this is bullshit, right? They can't do this to us. We need to do something. It's like, let's take it easy on the revolution, Thomas Pufferson. I don't even fucking know who you are. There's nothing in common. I don't give a shit about you. I want to quit smoking. I know I have to just apply the same rules to quitting drinking that I did with smoking, but I'm not doing that. I'm taking dumb advice from friends, which is exactly what I did when I first started to quit drinking, and it never fucking worked. Don't ask your buddies. You have to go through a recovery program. I need to like quit the proper way, but I'm not doing that. This is the last thing I did to like quit smoking. I swear to God I did this. One of my friends told me, take a piece of McDonald's straw and cut it the size of a cigarette, because they're the same circumference as cigarettes, so it feels the same with the muscle memory. So I quit for 2 weeks, and that whole 2 weeks I was sitting in my car smoking a McDonald's straw like a retarded monkey. And I keep it with me in my pocket just in case I needed it, which is a very suspicious activity to have a tiny piece of a straw in your pocket when you talk fast like squirrely coke guys. I just will just walk rooms with pockets full of powdered sugar. I'm here, everyone! Yeah, all right, I'm gonna go in a second, but it's hard for me because, like, you know, I'm kind of a young guy, I still have to travel on the road, you know, I'm staying sober, but a lot of times things will happen that make you go, oh, that's why I'm sober, you know? Have you ever been the only sober person in a group of drunks, you know, that inevitably something will happen where you're like, nothing productive will happen from this moment forward. It almost always involves the phrase, you know what would be awesome, right? I got stuck in this argument with a couple of buddies of mine. This is recently. They were drunk, and they spent 3 hours drunkenly trying to convince me that it would be awesome if we could blow ourselves. That was what they wanted to talk about. They really wanted to just get to the bottom of that. And it took 3 hours, and I don't think that would be awesome. And I've heard that before, and it's always a drunk guy who says it. It's like, dude, if I could blow myself, I'd never leave my house. Really? Phil, would you? I don't think I would, and I've never tried it. Here's why, because to me, any pleasure that I might derive from the sensation of having a mouth on my penis